I'm Chef Cynthia Louise, and welcome to your 14-day stop. 1, 2, 3, action. This soup's amazingly lush and delicious and rich. And there's a few little techniques here that will take it to the next level. And it will be the curry powder, because it'll make it really kind of mellow and it'll just bring it home with the coconut milk. So those ingredients that are sitting in front of me, we're going to use the outside skins for our stock bucket. And we've been collecting this throughout this last few days. And so what you need to do is peel your garlic, throw it into the stock bucket, and do the same with your pumpkin. So taking that end off your pumpkin and into there, and then all the skins. And then you'll see all these amazing seeds in here, and that's going to go into the stock bucket as well. It's actually easier with a spoon just to scoop all this out. Basically everything counts, and it can go into the compost bin and into the garden to grow pumpkins, but I'm not going to do that today. You totally can. I want to put it in my bucket when we make our stock later. Okay. Yes, we want the skins of those onions. I know, right? You're probably thinking to yourself, why? Well, it all adds up to flavour. Everything is used throughout this challenge, which is super cool because you're kind of not left with something going, what am I going to do with the rest of that? Okay, and then we've got our corn. Just going to take the kernels off, just running your knife down. And yes, it does go everywhere. There's no other way. That goes in here. When you're running your knife down here, or the corn, watch this. So instead of going in and trying to cut it, you're going straight down and you're keeping your knife straight down. Super important. Because the more I tilt it, it's gonna be hard to get through that cob. Okay, we've got that ready, got that onion ready, got some cloves of garlic, piece of ginger, just roughly chopped. Then we've got the pumpkin, just roughly chopped. Got our coconut milk and our water. Need to put the stove on, and quite on a high heat as well. We want to get this started as quick as possible. We need curry powder, and I challenge you all to not write what's on your ingredients, so it wakens up the mind and your senses, and you're like, oh, what was that again? What was that? And just by opening it and smelling it, you're like, oh, that's right, that's curry powder. And sometimes you get it wrong and sometimes you get it right. Okay, so this is all going to go into here. Along with a beautiful tablespoon of this fragrant, sweet curry powder. And I prefer to buy the sweeter type of curry powder, not the heat, not the spicy one. Kind of like a Malay curry powder. And that's going to sprinkle into here. Going to add your coconut milk. Smells amazing already. Salt and pepper. And then want a little bit of water. Just back into that jug. And then have a look. And this is where us chefs like to taste it now. And the reason why we taste it now, because we're looking for the building blocks of flavour, like the beginning and the middle and the end of a dish. Super important. And there's nothing really there, but I know where it's going. And this is going to be on standby if I feel like I need to add more. So lid on, high heat. Get it to the boil. As soon as it comes to the boil, turn it down, put a timer on, ready, which will be 20 minutes as soon as it comes to the boil. This has been simmering away for 20 minutes and the house is smelling just delightful, and I'm feeling very happy with the whole situation. Because I know deep inside when you put corn and pumpkin together with a bit of curry and some coconut, something extraordinary happens. So, this incredible pumpkin what's really important here is to allow it to rest for a good 10 minutes before we start blending this up. It's super important because what happens with all the vegetables, right? They just all kind of mellow into the mush. I like to call it mush and the flavors, and it comes through so beautifully. So 10 minutes, take a breath and wait. So this is rested beautifully. And yes, it is still hot. So you're going to take this beautiful soup and it's going to go straight into your blender. Definitely scoop those bits out that are left. Okay. We want to blend this so it's completely smooth and creamy. Now what's really important here is not to lock that heat in. So I just have a towel just there and on high speed, I blend. Straight back into my pot. A lot of people take hot things and put them into containers. Don't do that. Allow it to cool down into the pot when you're ready to store it. So this is dinner and it's lush and creamy. Look at this. That is it. And the rest of this is going to sit here and cool down completely. And once it's cooled, it's going to go into a container and it's going to go into the freezer for next week. And I am set. And I'm super, super stoked to have this because this is just beautiful. It's like having a cuddle from the inside out. The better the pumpkin, the sweeter the pumpkin, the better the soup. That's a good tip. The sweeter the corn, the better the soup. The sweeter the curry powder, the better the soup. It's kind of how it works. Mother Nature has its way. Sometimes I've had pumpkins before that have no flavour. Sometimes I've had corn that's not very sweet. And so every recipe is designed by the divine, right? You can't tell until you use it, which is amazing. I will see you in the next video, and I hope you're having a really beautiful moment with yourself. Loving yourself, knowing you've got this, being involved in this incredible space of having massive amounts of plants in your world and keeping it super simple.